Lika Jakela, and I'm a human earth angel. I have a message for all humans to please remember that animals, loved pets, all animals, wildlife, farm animals, all living creatures were created by God and have a right to be respected as all living creatures do. Their brain, mind, emotions, personality, their physicality, their organs, their soul. They have a life just like everyone else that has a right to be respected by all other living creatures, by all humans, by nature, by those in heaven. In this video, I'm mentioning to please remember and share this information to other humans that don't know of this information, to please keep in mind that all humans My name is Angelica Giacchella, and I'm a human earth angel. I'm also a humanitarian. I am a human being acting in the best interest of all humans, animals, and nature. In this video, I have a message for all humans to please remember all the kind-hearted souls that these animals, loved pets, all living creatures in the wildlife, all farm animals, to remember these animals are all living creatures, were all rather created by God. They have a dignity of God within them, which has a serious meaning of a valuable life. That means that have a brain, mind, emotions, personality, a soul, a physicality, a life worth respecting and has to be respected by all humans, other living creatures, and nature, and those in heaven included, at all times. Please be informed and please share this information to others to remind others that animals, loved pets, they do not have the reasoning intellectual ability. If, for example, they're injured or suffering something, to go seek any medical advice. All the animals have to be respected and cared for by humans when safe to do, those trained to deal with animals, loved pets, farmers, veterinarians, humans working with animals and different organisms, sea creatures, animals in the wild are obviously trained to help these animals, to care for them. All these animals, keep in mind, do have a soul. They have virtues themselves. The animals care for the humans, as everyone knows. No one has the right to disrespect an animal. An animal will cry if offended. A dog, a cat, a bunny, a bird, a horse, other living creatures, sea creatures. All living creatures, they do have a soul, and is recorded in them what they do by the heavens, just like in humans, judged all the time appropriately. If they do right, recorded all their lives in the animals. Thoughts, mind, the way they think, they act, when they bark, a dog, how they communicate. The animals have kind hearted souls. No one has the right to disrespect or sin against anything else or anyone else, especially an animal. They do not deserve it. There are laws on earth and under God to be respected for animals to be respected as living creatures with a life, a soul, brain, mind, personality, a dignity of God within them worth respecting and has to be respected. They have free will of choice, like every other living creature and humans, but they also need human to act in their best interest to take care of the certain animals that humans choose to have as pets, those farmers that work with animals, humans that work in the wild with different animals there, living creatures, sea creatures. All these humans are trained in the paychecks as well, no, are asked when employed, are going to be employed rather, if they're gonna do their job, what they are trained in their job description to do, to work with animals, which are a life, a physicality, a brain with organs, a soul having an organism. All humans, my name is Angelica Jekela, and I'm a human earth angel. I have a message for all humans to please remember all the animals, loved pets, and organisms and different living creatures in the universe, on Earth, to please remember that these animals are to be respected and worth respecting as living creatures with a brain, mind, life force, soul, organs. They have free will of choice given by God as all living creatures that has to be respected. Even the care of a veterinarian, medical staff, they have a right, free will of choice, animal patient rights to be respected by those assessing their medical health, and in all ways. They have a kind hearted soul, so please keep in mind, especially during COVID times, there are different viruses going on in the world that are transmitted even from humans to animals with respiratory tracts and from animals to humans. If someone knows any researchers, to help them, remind them that there are different species of animals, loved pets, that might get the coronavirus or a different strain of it. They all have different genetic makeup, and every different species require vaccines, cures if found, medical treatments, proper nutritious animal food, supplementation to be created, research if needed, which one's most beneficial to help these animals that are worth respecting and have to be, and more research needs to be done, more humans hired to take care of the animals, proper veterinarians hired, trained. The animals to keep in mind for humans to hear this and put and tell the World Health Organization, the other main sites in the world dealing with animals, to which they haven't been doing, to remind humans and inform them in the first place, to educate them, especially humans with loved pets. Even recent times, there's the avian influenza virus transmitted from birds, even to humans. There's the monkeypox virus. Animals are to be respected, and to please remember that animals do not have the intellectual reasoning ability to think for themselves, to go and seek any medical advice. If they get a virus, the poor animal is suffering a health concern of the symptoms from the virus and doesn't know how to go look for medical advice. It has a brain, mind, a soul to be taken care of, a physicality to be cared for by the caregiver if it is a pet. Humans too only if needed to travel in wildlife to help assess if there are any viruses spreading to these animals so they don't suffer alone any ill health, the symptoms of these resulting from these viruses. The humans have to do their job and respect all living creatures, including the animals. Human dignity, by law and under God. All humans working with animals are assessed, judged right away if they're doing morally right, and know what to do to treat fairly all animals, pets, everywhere in the world. All sea creatures, all other living organisms who have a dignity of God and a free will of choice to be respected in their brain, mind, health, physical health, organs, soul, as they right to be treated with respect and taken care of as they choose. If they are harmed, then it is recorded in humans if they harm an animal and or don't do everything in their job description to help them. To help find vaccines for animals too, for pets, especially there are a million people in the world and more that chose to have pets, and unfortunately there are pandemic times and coronavirus going on that will spread from breathing, coughing from one human to a pet, potentially, and the other way around. There has to be more work done, funding that there is in the world to be put in by the appropriate boards or whoever works with these animals to hire more staff to invest to take care especially of this situation, to find proper vaccines, cures, medical treatments, proper masks for animals to have a right to be respected as all living creatures. Their physical, brain, and health of all their organs, respiratory tract, to treat them as any patient would be as a human would be rather by a medical trained professional as needed, for veterinarians to be made sure followed up they are educated and up to date on preventative measures and share this to the world about what current preventative measures are about preventing the spread of coronavirus and different strains of viruses, bacteria that spread to animals, other microorganisms, fungus, allergens, to help inform humans, even the little proteins after an animal licks its fur, there are little proteins put there that our humans might be allergic to in terms of allergens. To inform humans about these things, different microorganisms, different things on the microscopic level that may be transmitted from a human to an animal or animal to human or other living creature. If a animal is harmed, they are judged right away on earth. If a veterinarian farmer, if for some reason is not doing their job, there has to be hired another caring farmer or veterinarian right away, because every animal life is valuable and worth and has to be respected and treated fairly, especially in COVID times and for medical reasons is needed, as any human would want to be treated with respect and assessed proper medically. A living human being with a brain, mind, organs, physicality, life, and soul. Same with the animals have a human have rights rather that humans have to respect their dignity, their free will of choice, to have a proper veterinarian or farmer, an individual properly medically trained to assess their proper medical, brain, and physical health, medically rather, to find every preventative measure means of any microorganisms spreading to them on their fur, to put more information online on these sites in the world that on animal fur, when they're breathing, could have the virus spread on their fur, to avoid children contacting loved pets, to keep in mind even on human skin. The viruses are so tiny but are there, last on surfaces on human skin, animal fur, faces, for even seconds, depending which virus it is, to hours, even certain surfaces to days at a time before they die, and would be transmitted to someone or in close contact touching the surface of the fur when by choice to pet an animal for say when it allows for it. Obviously the animal has free will of choice to be petted by a loved one, someone it knows that knows consents to it, caring for it. It has animal rights as every living creature to be respected, humans to care for and be in contact with an animal only when it chooses to and consents to it, to be petted, to put a proper medical mask on it, for a human to continuously care to make sure there's enough air to breathe if it has a medical mask on, to prevent the spread of viruses as needed, to remind humans, make little pin posts as needed, to put more information about this in the world. Poor innocent animals do have a life, or as everyone knows, the most kind-hearted souls of them all. If they are harmed, don't deserve to be, then they cry. If they are offended, no one deserves to be offended, then they cry. They remember, have memories, like every human, but an animal. And remember, and a vision, a heart. Remember if a certain human treated them with respect, then they remember and like this human even more. If they were offended by someone, mistreated them, perhaps a vet, even by accident, or doctor who has no right to do and knows, they cry and remember this. So this is a reminder that all animals do have memories, a mind, thinking abilities, a personality, emotions, a soul, a life, created by God as every living creature that has a dignity of God, a valuable life that is, and everything about them that has to be respected by all others, especially the humans who do have reasoning and intellectual capabilities that animals do not, to provide proper medical care and assistance to do research, consented to fairly treated the animals, though, and other organisms, sea creatures, animals and wildlife, farm animals, pets, fairly when they choose. The animals have to consent to this. They have free will of choice. Cannot be put through any testing they don't allow for, of vaccines, for potential cures for things. There are laws on Earth, bioethics laws, many laws, health and safety board laws. All medical staff know and have to respect this, especially when working with animals. And all humans, keep in mind, are judged continuously on Earth. that work with animals, they don't get away with it under God. And in all job descriptions are asked, are you going to treat those you work with in the medical field, and if you work with animals, are you going to treat them with the respect that they deserve rightly as a valuable life that has a brain, mind, organs, personality, emotions, a physicality, a soul, that has a free will of choice given by God and rights as a patient or a potential subject to research, that they have choice to consent to and cannot be harmed in any way? Are you going to respect all this? Are you going to do everything in your job description you're trained to think to assess the health and treat fairly of it as animal and all living creatures that your job description you're trained to do everything in your job title and in your budget that you have to help these animals do proper consented to free by free of choice research, consented to by the animals, by even the caregivers making a proper educated decision. What is an act on the best interest of the animals that they consent to when they choose is their choice, their life, their health, their brain, their physicality belongs to them. A living creature has rights, patient rights, as a animal to be respected by law and under God at all times. All dogs, their kids, the cats, bunnies, birds, horses, pigs, all animals and wildlife, all other living creatures, mice, rats, insects, all sea creatures, all have a life, physicality, and their health to be respected as they choose to be respected and has to be respected. Can't be neglected by any human. Everyone is judged right away, and when employed, asked if veterinarians, farmers, are you going to respect these animals in all the ways mentioned? Use your budget to help them do proper research they consent to, treat them with respect as you want to be respected as human and they're the animals. Are you going to care for these living creatures? If not, I'm not going to give you a paycheck to harm them. I will hire someone who cares and will respect them all. And have a pay given to them for doing something proper, respecting animals, loved pets, fair consented to treatment out of respect of the animals done to find proper vaccines, medicines for the animals themselves. To keep in mind there are different species of animals, each might require a different vaccine. Humans in research field know this, but to remember this, to please remind them of this. Every dog is different. There are different species of different animals. All have different genetic makeup and require different vaccines against coronavirus, other monkeypox virus. Every animal is different, just like separately all humans rather are different. And have a valuable life and brain physical health that has to be respected by all, and especially by the humans doing their part to take care of the animals because they don't have the intellectual reasoning abilities that humans have to educate themselves about medical terminology matters, what viruses, bacteria are, what microorganisms different are, what vaccines are, how to seek these vaccines. to find the best information for them and treatments or best supplements, food for them, to help their immune system, the best animal food for them. This is required and a requirement rather of the humans and the caregivers of the animals and pets, those working in animal research, proper, credible one, consented to by the animals by their free will of choice, and other living creatures, farmers, veterinarians, other bioethics boards dealing with animals, respecting their life. There are many considerations to be made for animals to be taken care of and treated with respect as they rightly deserve by all humans, and assessed on earth if they're not, and no one gets away with it. Humans are continuously judged when their thoughts, what they think of, how they act towards animals. All humans in general know to respect animals and all living creatures, to treat them fairly as they rightly deserve. But if for some reason a human neglected something and harmed an animal, resulted in their harm in some way, physical harm, health, then these humans are judged right away, and under God don't get away with it. They have in fact had no right to do and caused harm, which is, even when, especially when an animal doesn't choose to be harmed, is illegal torture, fined by imprisonment, bodily harm against an animal, a living creature, free will of choice, didn't choose, didn't state to be harmed, and didn't deserve, of their physical or brain health, cannot be have illegal trials, research done on them that's harmful to their health, that they don't deserve as a living creature, but the brain, mind, soul, organs. No one has the right to harm their health, to do illegal testing on animals, not acting in their best interest to find a cure, proper one, against their free will of choice given by God. They have God given free will of choice assessed in animals too. If they're treated with respect, what is done to the humans is, to the animals rather, is recorded in their brain, mind. If something's done to their paw, to their physicality, parts of the animals, and results in them being harmed they don't choose, don't deserve, done to them, it is recorded in the animals too, assessed by the heavens. If they were mistreated in any way they don't deserve, and the human wrongdoer didn't treat them with respect as they chose, had a right to be respected but didn't, is judged, doesn't get away with it under God, and is recorded in them their whole life. A human has no right to harm another life or any living creature, including animals, sea creatures, insects, all farm animals, wildlife animals. So I'm reminding all humans to take the time and remind humans of this. Do something proper from the kindness of your own heart and soul, an act of mercy. Share this video to inform, educate others, remind them of this information, that these animals loved pets, And all living creatures have a right and free will of choice to be respected as you want to be respected, to assess their health properly, never offend them. They have a right to be healthy and happy like everyone else, to have their own kids, to raise their own families. Our living creatures take care of their own infants when they have them, right? To be born into a healthy, happy, safe world with educated humans that care for these animals, to put humans to put and ask the different governing bodies to put more research funding and jobs of caring humans to take care of these animals, to find enough nutritious new food, healthy to help the immune systems of the animals during these pandemic times, birds, dogs, bunnies, cats, to keep in mind they all have a different genetic makeup, have all different, there are rather all different types of species of all these animals, birds, sea creatures in the wild as well, insects, that has to be assessed properly, taken into consideration. There's a lot of research been done on humans that actually consent, have choice to research to find certain medications, different things, but not as much done on research to help that of animals, especially during these pandemic times in past years. The animals do suffer more than humans because they don't know what the virus is and suffer symptoms that no animal or living creature should live through, and don't know how to go seek medical advice for it, don't know how to heal it, and need the constant care of a caring individual to help them. Veterinary clinic parts put in even in medical hospitals for animals trained with humans to assess their health properly there if they get a virus. There are not many of these in the world. Animals are suffering and needlessly suffering horrendously, but have a soul, organs, mind to be respected, brain, physicality, heart, respiratory tract. They cry like anyone else if ill, but need someone to help them, to assess their health properly, to deal with them safely. They are animals. To speak kindly to them. They have a soul, have a right to be happy and treated with respect, and have we have someone patient to deal with them that is a human, to speak kind words to them, to slowly speak to them in simple terms to help them understand that I'm here to help you, your health, not to scare them. Obviously, they are living creatures, and inform them they have free will of choice to decide if they're going to be helped in the proper ways, and as needed if they have a caregiver of the pet to be take the time to educate themselves if this is going to act in the best interest of this medical staff or veterinarian, to assess their health properly, medically speaking, mentally, if they're offering proper medical advice to the animal, to consider if the animal chooses and is going to be beneficial to the animal, the pet, the medical advice, medical potential treatment, supplementation, recommended animal food for that particular animal, to listen to this particular. Each animal has a different type of species. We might have it has a different genetic makeup rather in each different species that a animal, and in different countries even though the same type of species of animals might have been might be affected by different types of food items in a different way than even in the same species of animals or in the one country because of different factors, environmental factors, the way they were raised, different foods that exist with different, even over time, pesticides, different, even every food item is assessed, grown in different countries. It might be slightly differently grown and made with slightly different amounts of vitamins, minerals, for example, that needs to be in a lab assessed, research considered before given to any animals. Say even created a vaccine from one country for a certain species of animal, then shipped to another country and given to this animal might not be beneficial to this animal because it has already been raised in a different country, exposed to different elements, different food items over years. It has a different genetic makeup in a species already could have because of its parents than a similar same species of this animal pet in a different country. The vaccine might not work the same way on this particular animal or living creature in this country that it does in another country, even though it is an animal of the same species. These are things that researchers working with animals have to consider, may or may not have. So if anyone knows any researchers in the world, to please give them this information to consider. Will help save the health and lives of many potentially pets and animals in the world. One vaccine working injected into a muscle of an animal per se, depending, like COVID vaccine, might mRNA work for one type of species of animals, but not be safe for another one. The contents other than what the vaccine actually is might be cause a health concern in one animal, even same species but in a different country might not react to it the same way because they already are made by from different to different parents and exposed to different things in different countries, different food items over years. Their physicality already has a different makeup than the same species of the same animal in a different country, even though they're the same species of animal, dog, bunny, birds, different living creatures, sea creatures, others affected by different bacterias, molds, microorganism, fungus, allergens. These are many things that research hasn't really been done on in the world in general, especially for animals. That has to be considered by those in the world and put more funding in, especially a lot of because it is COVID times. And as known, the coronavirus, COVID-19, has changed forms, been on Earth too long, and mutated. It is more virulent, travels faster and longer distances between a human and animals, and vice versa, and has more serious symptoms resulted from it. And animals don't deserve to suffer, right? To have humans to find vaccines for them. Especially a lot of humans, almost all humans, have a pet or loved animal, a kitten, a cat, bunny. Different animals have their little infants. All living creatures that have a right to have consented to, given to proper vaccines to when proper assessed by humans deemed really safe to give to them to build antibodies after given a vaccine for against a particular strain of coronavirus, so they can build antibodies against it in case they get the virus and can fight it off. And to keep in mind, each strain of the virus is a different shape, needs a different vaccine. And to consider this, world whoever can contact any that know medical research boards to give them this information to consider, to let them know that there are 100 million people with pets and have children, and the humans recent times have the bivalent rather vaccines, but the animals, the pets, don't have these vaccines. They have respiratory tracts too and live in the same houses as humans, near children with respiratory tracts, the lungs, mouth, the breathing pipe, nose, mouth, all whole respiratory tract, breathing organs in their physicality. When there's this many animals and pets living with humans, they have rights too to have proper vaccines when really deemed safe to be found for all species and types of animals in each separate country. Treat medical treatments to help them, proper immune system supplementation to consider. In recent times, there's the vitamin D has been found beneficial to help the immune system in humans, especially during these pandemic times with so many viruses going on. Other different food items that contain these vitamin D can be gotten from the sun when safe. There's the black seeds found given to help reduce humans affected by viruses, bacteria, to help decrease their mortality rate. These certain were found useful for humans. There may or may not be research done about this for animals, pets that live with humans. That research could be funded and helped, especially when they're near humans, to help them have a healthy immune system as best they can. A human cared for animal that has a caregiver that cares for them, even a child. These animals have rights to have research done, to find every way to even have their pet food have enough of these what human research been done, but for proper for animals and living creatures to help their immune systems to be strong enough, healthy as possible during these times, to be put done and put these found naturally as possibly can from healthy food items into their created into and put into their pet food like dog food, cat food, for birds, bird in their bird feeders, the bird feed, bunny food. All each animal has their own different food as humans know is created. But to do the research and if it has been done to promote it, share from one researcher in other countries to collaborate, to share this information to help it. So these animals that have a life and to consider in every country, as I stated, every food item is grown slightly different. Even the same vegetable or fruit might be grown slightly differently in different fertilizers in different countries, exposed to different things than other countries. It might not for years has a slightly different makeup of chemically or molecules per se than in different countries, has to be assessed in the lab properly and then put considered proper if it is into dog or animal food in a different country, if it will be beneficial to the animal, to the pets, loved ones. For these things, researchers consider but might overlook, even inadvertently, but have to consider to to inform them of these simple ideas might not even thought of that will help prevent an animal from suffering. A living creature with a brain, heart, respiratory tract that doesn't want to suffer any health concerns, any viruses affecting it, breathing problems from coronavirus, different strains of it, monkeypox going on, avian influenza virus, little creatures, birds suffering from viruses, don't have to be, even especially as pets, the humans to put more research done into more nutritious food, as I stated, for to help their immune system. So if they even do get seven more means of fighting it off, proper vaccines, treatments, each different species for birds, consider a different country has maybe the same species of birds, but over generations, as humans know in research and medical fields, that they'll have different genetic makeup than the same species might in different countries because they have different parents. Who knows where the birds came from? And one parent gets along was made. These two parents made one little bird. Then the bird met another bird, slightly different genetic makeup, had another baby bird. Things to consider how it was over time done. Then to develop proper supplementation in their foods and as naturally as possible, organically, with no pesticides, obviously, with the intent of caring and respecting life of living creatures to help these poor animals, birds, that don't have the intellectual reasoning ability to seek this information, to educate themselves, to find out what vaccines are, to go get one, to find better. They don't have the means of speaking to say to the owner, please get me better food. I want a healthier immune system. This is what humans have to consider to help the animals, the birds, especially there's, as I stated, 100 million people with the pets, farmers with the animals. They are obligated to consider this in these pandemic times to help these animals, their health, as everyone human has to be well rested in these times to make sure they sleep enough in normal warm temperatures for their body brain to function properly, to find and educate themselves as continental all pet owners rather, farmers morally obligated. They are entrusted to the care of these animals, to care for them rather. Their lives have to respect them as living creatures as they want to be respected, but to remember that they cannot educate themselves to find proper, better animal food with more nutrients. Cannot go look online if they would go online and go type up and find the most research done up to date to find the most beneficial dog food, for example, or animal food with the most nutrients to help them to strengthen their immune system, to have healthy lungs, heart, best proteins from which foods, which ones to avoid. This is what humans have intellectual brain, thinking, reasoning abilities for that animals do not. To consider, and humans are morally obligated, especially is not easy, but the pandemic times, as everyone knows, viruses. Not only think of themselves as humans, but to consider their pets if have one, farmers, their animals, humans that work with at least care, and those in the wildlife, to wear masks, prevent the spread, to be educated safely, work kindly with these animals and find ways and have to inform themselves and look on the up-to-date research and help give ideas if they can to researchers. Fund more researchers, the funding is there safely to help find proper even help of nutrient supplementation and added proper natural resources from natural resources, food items for healthy animal food to help strengthen their health and benefit the brain and immune systems especially so it doesn't irritate their stomach lining and gut and intestines so then they have an healthier immune system that way resulting from it as well to consider all different animals might have a certain allergic reaction to certain items, certain foods as well, which are allergens are protein based. Do research on this. Find the foods in animal food that will best benefit the health, brain, physical health of animals, especially during these pandemic times. To even think of what research done in these times on for to assist humans with supplements that researchers are doing a huge part to find for humans to find vaccines. Every second counts, cures, medical treatments, uh, certain medications might help lessen symptoms. To find a version of these proper for as well known, especially for humans that have loved pets, for these animals of all different species, especially those living with humans, loved caregivers have. They are living creatures too, have a brain, physicality, and worth respecting and have to be on the part of those that have taken the time and chosen to care for these animals. Especially those in the jobs making a paycheck have to respect and do their job, especially those the veterinarians and farmers and others working in wildlife, researchers, medical ones, properly to assess the brain, mental, and physical health of animals. By their free will of choice, animals have to consent to it. Nothing, no one rather can do any research on an animal if they don't choose consent to it. If they react against it, they have every right to do and cannot be done to them. They have a right to be respected as a valuable life with a brain, physical health, by law under God, everyone knows to be respected as every living creature has a right to be, and for humans to help them. So please take the time to listen to this video. Some basic information, but I learned, studied, but I've seen online in different over the years hasn't been promoted in the world, even to educate people would love to know, even pet owners. Simple information to remind them that with animals can't go look up information online and figure out what vaccines are, but would do to benefit their health and have rights to do. So it is the part of the human, their caregiver, to seek up-to-date information. And I'm letting you know that there is research has been done. Vitamin D helps humans, can be gotten from sun or supplementation and from food as needed. Helps the physicality, helps bind calcium, healthy bones, teeth, in animals too. In humans helps 100 million different functions in the brain, physicality entirely. The immune system helps during COVID times and other ones to help the immune system be stronger. To look into this, consider this online if it's done research done for animals to help put this in their diet, to when absorb some from the sun, when safe to do, will be a lot healthier. The animals, the dogs, their little pet puppies, the cats, the little kittens, the bunnies, they won't be suffering the little birds, all the other types of animals, farm animals, horses, pigs, their little infants, the sea creatures separately, affected by different things in the wild, for humans to care to keep the world as clean as possible, to consider the water, use only what they need, be careful. Water filtration companies, people are washing their hands, putting first told with warm water and soap to help kill the virus bacteria on their hands and wash down the drain, to sterilize rather. These find way these companies to keep the water as clean as possible, free of viruses, different bacteria in the world. Make sure not leaked into the lakes. There are living creatures there, right to be treated with respect too. They cannot heal themselves, have a brain, emotion, soul, will cry if harmed, and no one has a right to harm them. Things to consider. Humans more dealing with these fields and know who to contact to further any research or to comment on these. If humans act and share this information, people will find others to consider these ideas and find a way maybe to help they even sterilize, even though this is mainly in labs. Viruses have to be killed at really high temperatures and really low temperatures. It is very difficult to kill a virus, but might find a disinfectant or something really somewhat safe as possibly can, and maybe human drains to put after washing the hands, but a safe for water. This has to be done by certain humans that are educated in these matters, deal with hydro water companies, how the drains, the materials they're made of in the house contribute. Everything is made out of some kind of particles, chemicals, drains, soaps. The water has to be made sure cleaned uh, to be kept as long as possible in this world clean, free of any bacteria, microorganisms, viruses. Humans need water, animals too, in their bowls for humans to consider. Pets have need to drink water as humans have more than 70% of their body, almost all cells made of water. Need to drink every day, lick it in their bowls to remember, inform humans. Put on Facebook little pins. People do their part on Pinterest, can create different little posting, credible, true information. Please remember the animal bowls. Put it on loves. Some probably there are websites of caregivers for animals say that the bowls might have viruses on them. Coronavirus on surface lasts for up to from hours, depending on surface, to days at a time. The animal might become ill. To be careful, animals lick their fur, have allergens, might spread to humans, might be allergic to them. There are many microorganisms in the world. Different countries have their own animals, the surfaces they deal with, their bowls where they eat the food. Who knows where the parent or the caregiver rather went, the human bought the animal food on the bags to remember of the dog food, cat food, bunny food, bird food. The surfaces there are viruses could be too. Need to be to keep in mind sanitizers, hand sanitizers do not kill entirely all the virus. On the surface they die out. Maybe the virus some hours to days at a time. So be careful where they get the dog food. If there's a certain food, maybe to one is obviously wearing a mask, but unfortunately I've seen in the world, so please everyone help wear a mask near the animals. There were restrictions lifted in the world, unfortunately, and it's disheartening to see a human crying to see this. And food stores, places in well-known food stores, even such as, not to name names, but like for example, like food in different store that has maybe dog food and other items, clothing, such as Walmart, well known in Ontario and Canada, other countries seen. The restrictions were lifted by unknown who, is not even stayed online illegally. Doctors against this. The cases of virus have been changed form and increased, put humans in hospital in past weeks to months because humans have someone illegally put a restriction lifted, so no humans don't at some places don't have to wear a mask, even the workers. Even with food are not wearing them. With humans working with food, near pet food where the packaged food items especially have to wear a mask. Because humans, other ones will purchase it and might get a virus and internalize it into the mouth, body, and digest and become ill. Every human even has their own germs. Canada states is cold, even the common cold, remember, to inform sure people inform is a virus. That the body has to raise a high temperature enough fever to kill it. Might have antibodies, the body learns to fight it off and kill it that way, but not against coronavirus. That is a different virus. It has different changed forms with no vaccines, no cures. A human will suffer breathing, aches, pains, different symptoms for 2 long weeks and die. And animals suffer needlessly for years. So, but this hasn't been shared information so much for animals. But they are living creatures and suffer more than humans because they don't know what the viruses are. They need humans to act, to care for them, to respect their own health, the humans and the animals, to take the extra second, especially if signed up to have a pet, chose to, are morally responsible under God and by law to take care of this animal in the best way they can and resources they have no, and to consider them to have a mask, to care for where they got the pet food for them from rather, if it's nutritious enough to help them, say, telling new more research done as people know as well to give them a vitamin D enough rich diet, the calcium to help bind it, magnesium to absorb it, help taurine to the bones, physicality to assess, to care for, educate yourself, ask a vet online, find create more humans to suggest this to vets that are educating this, put a few sentences about this to help the animals that is accessible with humans with many followers already on Twitter and can tune in every day and see this put online every day to educate them. They have rights to know how to care for their animals. Animals have rights to have humans to take care of them, especially pandemic times, to find the most proper, nutritious, animal safe food for them to help strengthen their immune system and body in case they get a virus to help fight it off. Have patient animal rights, living creature rights, according to many laws on the earth by God, bioethics laws having to do with animals to be treated with respect as living creatures in all ways as they choose and rightly deserve, their dignity, a valuable life, brain health, physicality, all of it that belongs to God. All humans, no religions or not, have to be respected in the animals on the part of humans and all other living creatures and those in heaven at all times. So, kind hearted humans, I have given you information that learned over time and seen different things in the world, and hope that humans that have more resources, vets, humans with pets, to take this second, be in essence human earth angels, use your gifts, virtues, your gifts of the Spirit from the kindness of your own heart and soul. Do a merciful act, share this video to others those more medically inclined, help find research to be done that even consider what is healthy to immune system of humans. These certain basic supplements to find to be found a proper safe way to be given naturally put into animal food. Millions of pets, as I stated, in the world need this, haven't been given it, but have rights as living creatures and need humans to accomplish this. To consider all the rest of it, what other foods to give with these supplements if needed, nutritious food, proper sterilization of items without hazardous chemicals, to inform humans what what sanitization actually means. Sanitization involves killing, but not all of the virus. Some of the virus is still on the surface after use of most hand sanitizers and sanitizers for humans to take care of themselves and on the surfaces of, say, dog packaged foods, their bowls. Best to clean with soap and water down the drain from the surface. Warm water with soap, not hazardous after to the animal, obviously, versus using a hand sanitizer with ethyl alcohol and some who knows what other contents in it that might smear some of the virus on it and be harmful to potentially to the animal, loved pet, a living creature. They don't deserve to be mistreated this way, so it takes the human to educate themselves. From these words I speak, I learned certain things and seen in the world. To chose to speak this with other humans I haven't seen online, even World Health Organization and the ones that deal with animals haven't put online even after this whole almost 4 years of this virus on this earth and had to do make their paychecks, tell them to do their job, put their budgets. They have already educated in this, could easily figure this out. Show them this video, please give them the link immediately. Every second counts. The virus has been on Earth too long. It was very dangerous when it's too long. People not preventing the spread to human animals. Unfortunately, restrictions lifted of humans saying fully vaccinated don't have to wear masks. There's no human that's fully vaccinated against every strain of the virus. So to be careful, in general, keep wearing the mask. Don't trust everything you see online. There is misinformation too much during these virus times, pandemic times. Humans like are failing their health, rather animals than suffering, loved ones crying, becoming ill. Every life affects another life to remember. Human loses an animal suffering, suffers horrendously, might not have a loved one there to bark, wake them up, or help them throughout life, and will be crying. A child might lose a loved pet and look for them every day. Could have been prevented by the caregiver informing themselves and taking care of them to prevent the virus from spreading to them. Every life affects another life, including that of animals and humans, birds. There's, as I stated, avian influenza virus can be transmitted from birds to humans. Tool is to be careful. In some countries more than others for now, but hopefully doesn't spread. Monkeypox. Some people were vaccinated with smallpox. Certain vaccines exactly might help prevent humans from getting certain monkeypox, but that's even iffy. There's more research need to be done. Every virus, keep in mind, has an exact different shape than every other virus, are very tiny, and over time, when they stay are not prevented from spreading from breathing from one human or surface to another animal to a bird, the longer they stay, they have a potential to mutate. They change their form And if there was a vaccine against that one virus, when they change forms, there is no vaccine for the new change form. That's why viruses are very dangerous. The longer they stay on the earth, not prevented from spreading, humans not doing all their part to inform people about exactly what hand sanitizers did. Most people did early on, but to remember that hand sanitizers don't entirely kill viruses, only added a preventative measure to help minimize the spread of it in stores if humans can't wash their hands. Going to buy human or animal food or any surface, are recommended not to touch anything unless they're gonna buy it to prevent it from to minimize it from spreading. But the virus is still, if it was there, even with the hand sanitizer put on a whole hand rub, is still some of the virus there. It's not entirely killed. To inform humans of this, there are still 100 million people who need reminders that even most humans not educated but right to know. Especially when working with animals and have pets, there are 100 million more in the world, in every country, that still don't know this. Most of the assistance was oriented towards humans, even that most did their part, but are not entirely educated too. Even there's misinformation online, so please, whoever's scientifically oriented, please help clarify this once and for all. And put one helpful site, even you do, and put it on the main World Health Organization, contact our main health boards to the main government, and put on TV show who have the most viewers, and you will help 100 million people inform them finally what is supposed to be done for years. To put one main, proper, credible scientific definition of the difference between a sanitizer, what it is, that it doesn't kill all viruses, bacteria, depending what it's for. Humans' right to know, it'll save human health by informing them, educating them. There's a difference between a disinfectant. Most of them are more have more hazardous chemicals, like saying one some not to name names, but for example, like Lysol. But they state 99% they kill certain bacteria or viruses, which two different things, but might not entirely do, but kill more than a hand sanitizer. To put an exact, humans that studied, obviously there are researchers, people work in different fields in scientific research for years, know this inside out more than I do. I know the basic, but if I had more access to labs, would have done myself to state a real specific definition of what sanitizers are. If they kill enough, don't kill all of the virus. The next sentence, disinfectants, that they will kill, how much each one, which disinfectant, how it works, how much chemicals it has, risk to human health, need to wear proper mask, ventilated near it, but will might kill certain more viruses, but not entirely 100% of it. If there's one created that will kill 100% of virus, a certain one, each virus is different. To inform people, to finally someone care, and to take the few seconds, humans already studied that know this inside out, can type two sentences, one of each, and inform 100 million people, trillions in the world, and the right to be informed finally, which had to be done for years. No one did. Some humans took the time basically and tried to summarize this, but more detailed efforts can be done by scientists that know this inside out, can type the sentence they already know. Some are geniuses. What these are, worked in labs for years, so know which chemicals, compounds will actually kill a virus, even know this inside out, and take the seconds to type it up and put a little pin online and post to links is modern day on Twitter, well-known site, put on well-known world leader site, say to inform humans, and they'll gladly put it there and have to do by law under God and inform 100 million people every time they tune in there. Followers every day to world leaders, World Health Organization site. Someone get this information video to them. I've seen in world, and I can only be one human, but I don't have all the contact info. Some people might, to the higher level offices that have the viewers. And scientists, doctors, millions in world can help some all 100 million people, inform them once and for all what the difference is between a sanitizer, which is best, the disinfectant, and then sterilization to tell humans. Sterilization is done mainly in labs, in certain facilities that might kill a virus at a very high temperature or a very low. This is not done in normal human houses, depending on virus, bacteria. These are three different words with three different definitions, but most humans are not informed what exactly they are, and viruses were needlessly spread. People misinformed, not even educated, might have thought, okay, there's a hand sanitizer in store, it's gonna kill the virus, there's a lot of alcohol. It is not true. It is only meant to help minimize, prevent the spread of most of it as needed. Still travel on surfaces kept on hands there. Some food items, so that's why people invested. Humans were watching them, security people saying no, and to begin with, only let humans with practicing social distancing 2 meters apart and only to go in shortly in a store with a mask, put the hand sanitizer as needed. After already washed the hands with soap and water at home, save more and wash down the drain. We'll get rid of more of the virus, kill it, and get rid of down the drain. Versus hand sanitizers, but put in stores on had people hired putting saying you have to use this hand sanitizer, you can't enter to minimize, prevent spread of it. The virus, don't touch anything in the store unless you're gonna buy it and leave. Prevent it spreading from one surface, hand virus to the food items, clothing. Prevent as much as can, minimize spread at all costs, then it will die out, won't be on more surfaces, less on food surfaces. This is not being done anymore. Empty bottles I've seen recently, but it's the worst time. As doctors stated, the virus changed too many forms. There are no vaccines for the new ones. People not wearing masks. No human screening at any store, McDonald's, not too many names, but at food restaurants. Workers with food not wearing masks. Be cautious. If you have kids, stay away. Don't go there. Food stores, Walmart, not to name names, but for example, have food there, people entering, no masks. The hand sanitizer empty at the door, no one's screening anymore, even for proof of vaccination. 3 or 4 will minimize it that way, but still not prevent spread of other ones, but still was something. Not being screened about anything at all. Not the workers not even caring for the health to respect managers and their customers. To think of this way, the food workers, even if there's no virus, food workers know they have to wear a mask and gloves handling food are not doing. McDonald's, for example, Tim Hortons wasn't screening humans recently either. Humans have internalized the food after drinkables, spreading virus. No one sanitizing, standing there, even saying to use the hand sanitizer to minimize spread, wear the mask. No one even wearing the mask. Breathing, who knows what. Many people, as the doctors feared, and are going to hospital more. Virus spreading, and it is the worst time after 4 years. Need to humans wear the mask more. It was dying out. Then when the humans not wearing the mask will spread more, change forms. That's why it's very dangerous. And to animal surfaces, food items of animals to be careful. Someone goes to, for not to name names, but to go to Walmart, then they have bags of food items for animals, might be on surface because humans not wearing mask, breathing a virus, bacteria, common cold onto surfaces, might transfer the food near a dog, might lick it. To be cautious, might get a virus, be breathing problems, have for 2 weeks and die, get monkeypox, some other virus. Different countries have different viruses, bacteria. To care for the humans still, wear the mask. It'll prevent and 2 meters to stay away with the mask because it might breathe a virus or something on the side. To be careful. To only wear a mask, stay away. Obviously, humans need to breathe air and animals. Not wearing the mask, then stay home and make sure the animal stays at least 2 meters away from human, especially for humans to care for animals, to respect them. They are morally obligated if they chose, as I stated, to have an animal as a pet, so have to think of their own health, preventive measures human, and educate themselves how to take care of their pets. Make sure the children that they have take care of the animals and their children. Wear masks if needed when close to them. Even to remember said breathing virus might be on side of your mouth if you're traveling somewhere to a store. Make sure stay 2 meters away, wear the mask. It is safer to prevent spread than getting a virus. Then a owner might die, suffer, not have a dog might not have someone to pay money and give them food. Every life affects another life. And the animal might have a pet, not have a caregiver to give them food, pet food, and suffer starving slowly and not be able to feed their little bunny, little puppy. They have little animals. They transfer the animals feed through milk, certain them through the bloodstream, need healthy, nutritious food to consider on the part of the caregiver, veterinarians to consider farmers, humans working with animals, especially pets, million in the world, to think of this, to have a nutritious food for the parents, the animal's dog, or which ones they transfer to, feeding the little animal with the milk from the animal, goes through the bloodstream, and the vitamins that the parent animal internalizes healthy to have immune system to keep in mind their infant puppy, the little animals are growing need nutrients to to from the milk from the mother to grow entirely new cells even in the womb before the animal gives birth. To do as humans, there's research with certain foods to leave out when a human is already have an infant in the womb. There are certain fruits and vegetables known to leave and leave out, so that the baby is that much more healthier in the womb, growing new cells. Even though it was a fruit and vegetable, people think, oh, fruits and vegetables are healthy. Some certain little things in the fruits and vegetables might not be beneficial while there's an infant in the womb and absorbed through the mother to the infant. So there's research been done over time, and people leave out certain fruits, different items to inform and find this research and help for the animals. Whoever can take this idea to animal researchers found that they have a life. A lot of people and they love pets too, and humans will to educate them to act now. Every second counts, and to respect the rights of the animals, for humans to educate themselves, to promote more research, call the governing bodies, find a look up online, can type of world best research for animals, food, pet food, find the best company, ask them, give them this video to consider certain things, ask them, takes a second online, everyone has their cell phones to look up online, act in the best interest of their own pets, other humans to keep in mind, will affect 100 million other people. If some human have nothing to do and to hear this and don't have a pet or not, but they have a life to consider, to do some information research to help online, to contact these head researchers and pet food companies to ask them if they have enough nutritious substances, vitamins, minerals put into the new dog food they created, or something safe for the humans, pets, animals, and during pandemic times, to help strengthen the immune system with vitamin D. Black seeds, if they're safe, found are for humans, are better if they're safe to help the animals. Other different simple food items, vitamins, minerals to help during these pandemic times to help immune system, vitamin C, helps create antioxidants, vitamin A, E, to make sure that animals have proper food, nutrients, safe, clean food. Most humans say they can only, as is known, to wash food. Soap is not beneficial, might go into the food, but to wash with water, warm water, to wash it down the drain, at least remove hopefully it off the surface of the food items. That's all basically humans can do. If getting fresh produce to minimize spread of the virus, wear the mask as well, have their own hands cleaned first, soap and water in different sink, wash it down the drain. They have the virus as much as can, to be educated for themselves as human and to respect those they have entrusted to their care, which are pets and animals. Farmers have their animals, they respect them and their little infants to take care of, to make sure they have proper nutrient diets even more and well rested during pandemic times. Those in the greenhouses, whoever did research, keep in mind, find which foods or in different countries might be something others don't know in other countries. Collaborate with other world researchers for humans found beneficial to help in these times. Human health might a supplement or something. Do research to find help in animal health. Prevent their health from failing as much as possible. Every human to please hear this. Be patient. That's a virtue in itself, highly valued by heaven. To be understanding of the needs of humans and then to consider the needs of animals, especially love pets and their loved animals, to find a way promote preventative measures and online of other humans they know of that are caregivers of pets and animals. Any information you deem information helpful, there are sites can easily be made. For example, not to name names, but Canva. Some easy online free sites can be made little pins for different sites, little posts, true credible information. Maybe someone didn't type it up a few words, maybe put a little picture, not even needed, something true and share on a post to Facebook, Twitter. Those who have the million followers, if it's really information proper to the world, share it to our leader offices, World Health Organization, there's emails, send it to them, put it the issue, sure, and they have to, by law under God, if it's really important to the world, we'll put it on their site, tell them to put every day, follow up. Humans and their news channels willing to see this, that's their job. Viewers, humans concerned, help others, put information there, will view it, and 100 million viewers tune into the news every day, right, to be informed. 100 million people's health and lives and pets will be saved, as everyone right to have a healthy life as possibly can. Help prevent spread as much as can, even more. These viruses from spreading from one to another, from surfaces. When they prevent it spreading, traveling, social distancing, 2 meters to stay away from animals, humans, birds, pets. In cold temperatures, viruses travel faster. Still, humans don't know this most, but it does. So, even to share this information, humans have rights to know, animals have rights. Right to be informed. The caregivers have to do the part because they have education, ways to intellectual reasoning abilities rather to educate themselves and have to act on the best interest of their animal. Pets to be informed, up to date, look online, use this information, help others find research, best pet food, properly cleaned surfaces of pet food bags, dog little bowls where they came from. Use the only one you have. Don't order anything unless needed still from other countries. Make sure you know where the items came from and properly companies sterilize things to kill all viruses, bacteria. Different countries have different forms of virus, so it's not safe really to order anything from other countries unless really needed. Definitely not for animals. Use what you have. Use what items you have. Save the planet too. Reuse it. Less items in the landfill site. As everyone knows, every human life affects another one. If humans do their part and help the animals and nature will preserve it from failing. And everyone has a right to have a nice environment with no huge landfill sites with waste. Humans doing a huge part to save and reduce and reuse recycle items. To be careful during COVID and different virus variant strain times. Humans to do their part, educate themselves for their own purpose of human life and health, to respect and to take care of and of the animals. A second separate really important part, because animals cannot educate themselves. They cannot go look online to find more better food for themselves. They don't have the reasoning abilities. As humans, I have to educate and go look online to find what better animal food that could be out there and right to do. This is the job for them. This is the job of the caregiver, the pet owners, to educate kids as early on age to think of these few things, write it down. These certain sentences, everything when a human, it will be more fresh in the memory. Put little pin on safe to do and share to people little posts, and people will inform other people. Mass tag emails. Some people have enough money, invest few more dollars and share one information tag to 1,000 people at a time. There are prayer groups, online groups for different things, have millions or 100,000 people. Could be post one and be shown to a million people at a time. Will view and share this information in, say, an animal caregiver group, medical group, share information, put this video there. Research sites, if anyone knows of, take a few seconds, click this video link there. They might get an idea that they didn't know of and help save 100 million animals by doing some caring research, create some new good pet food with more vitamin D, zinc, helpful antioxidants. Black seeds, find out if it's good for, as it is for humans, to prevent certain bacteria, virus, decrease mortality in humans. If it's beneficial for every different animals, to make a supplement or dog food with it. They will have a healthier immune system and a right to do and have it, be healthier. Humans have to act to help the animals. As I stated, and this hasn't been really done in years. Humans barely took care, did what they can, but this is not a worldwide as much effort as used to be, but is the most important time, because unfortunately humans misinform others and the virus has spread, changed forms and won't leave the earth. Will keep going on surfaces. There is no vaccine for the new changed forms. Will keep changing forms. Humans, animals will suffer. More will die. No more jobs. The world will go downhill, all economy. Humans that did their part even worse, animals did the part. Isolate, stayed away from love, kids, pets, all lives, respected one another. Have to do even more now. Don't trust anyone online that telling you restrictions are lifted. Traveling to other countries, don't travel unless you have to. Wear your mask. Protect yourself. You have rights to do. Protect your animals. Prevent it from spreading. It will die out then, and then it will be gone sooner from the world. Do your part a bit more longer, as long as needed. Wear the mask. Stay 2 meters away. Eat your own food. Provide proper and nutrient-rich food for the animals. Help with research for this to help their immune systems. To find vaccines for each species. Might be different for the same species, but even different countries. To consider these are all certain things. An idea I might have a researcher didn't, to give to some who might save and make a vaccine rather and save a lot of animals, pets from suffering, find a cure, Every human informs another one, collaborates with another one, use their gifts. The Mercy Act to prevent the health failing of millions of humans and animals is worth sharing this video to all humans in the world. Do which part they can, and each part that I spoke different things that they're good at to share to others in different departments with animal care, World Health Organization, who has contact info, will help dramatically, even right away, act, prevent the health failing and suffering, and stop the suffering of innocent animals with brains, minds, souls, emotions, personalities, organs that have a right to be taken care of by humans when they cannot educate, take care of themselves in these matters, and have humans to help them prevent spread of viruses, microorganisms, allergens to them on their fur, on the packages of animal food, bird feeders, to consider the foods where they're purchased. If humans not wearing a mask, be safe, stay away. Consider if you have a pet gonna buy food there, don't buy it. Maybe buy something that's in a can or packaged food that might is safer for your animal pet. Think of your life health and the animals, your pet. You're morally obligated to do. Animals don't deserve to be harmed. They right to be healthy and happy like humans, have the most kind-hearted soul of them all, who will do anything as they best reasonably can to care for humans. But they're only animals. They don't have further intellectual reasoning ability to do anything further. They cannot speak to say to humans with real more help. They can only, if a dog can bark, maybe crying would see needs help or something, human can help them, but they cannot speak to further go educate themselves, but right to about new medical advancements to help them, techniques, different food items, vitamins that they could help them dramatically through the years and help through the years. If they are healthier and have healthier infants, will affect the future of all animals as well. If they have a healthy diet of more vitamin D, say help their immune system, and zinc and antioxidants from vitamin C, A, E, and if the black seeds work for animals, then they will have a stronger way to find out if they have certain viruses. Who know what comes up in the world in the future, bacteria, but have a right to do. The infant will already have more vitamins, healthier from the mother, and throughout the years of animals with stronger immune systems be healthy and right to be as long as they can while they're alive, to do what they do as animals, play with other animals when kids, live their lives, help humans. They do have a life, soul, personality, intelligent animals, only what they know as animals, but they do care for humans, would do anything to save a human life. So it is the job for humans to prevent their suffering, health failing, brain, physicality, and educate themselves, especially the owners of loved pets, and help inform the other ones what they learn. Be human earth angels. Prevent human suffering by informing them, sharing this video. Everyone then from the kindness, compassion of their own hearts and souls, selflessly acting a mercy act to prevent the health failing suffering of all the humans, animals, pets, all living creatures in the wild as well. Caregivers, farmers dealing with their animals, other humans dealing with sea creatures, insects, all different. They're little microorganisms, rodents, treated to be with respect. Life and soul have choice. Human, they have their own dignity of God within them to be respected in all ways. Their health, brain, physicality, the way they're made, all of them, down to the molecular level. Soul life in every way have rights, legal rights, to be respected by all others, humans to do their part, to inform themselves, help these creatures stay healthy, happy as they rightly deserve. And then everyone will be happy and healthy, humans, animals, and have their heaven on earth as they rightly deserve, while they only have one life to live on this earth. And prayer's work, too, is recorded in every human soul to the heavens to further act, to perform miracles, find ways to advise or get to the world as well who can in heart, soul, recorded anywhere in the world to pray for to the care of animals, for miraculous healings, for help, and hopefully they haven't do their part. It's supposed to be protecting supernaturally and helping miraculously heal animals and creatures, informing researchers for years after millions prayed already for these purposes but haven't at all times. So, but keep this another way to selflessly care and heart known record, and hopefully the heavens will act and tell them immediately that there's a life of animals affected, needs to be cared for, and help get rid of viruses in the world at the respect of these animals. Humans, the virus has been on Earth too long and have to be got rid of. That's another way that humans heard enough, then hopefully the heavens will act and get rid of the virus too by performing miracles, protecting humans, animals as they choose. Supposed to be done on Earth already, but hasn't been, so another way is to pray. Please subscribe to Angelica Jekela Earth Angel YouTube channel. Please see my other sites. I have an Earth Angel Help. It is a wix.com website. I put the work into it, normal human, but humanitarian. Suffer, seen different things in the world. But I put this together to information to inform everyone to please share to the world to save and prevent 100 million people from suffering. Health is most important of all humans, animals, nature. When the human is healthy and all are healthy, then they're happy. Every life affects another life. To be respect their dignity, rights, choice. Everyone to treat each other with respect, be clean-minded, educated as possibly can, well rested, especially during COVID times, to prevent spreads from one human. Care, inform, educated, help others, inform them to prevent spreading to animals, creatures, birds, nature. As surface to have lives to be respected, grass, trees, all other living creatures, to care for the world, water resources. And then this is part of also on that site a link to the online merciful information session to has more detailed information how this could be accomplished. Humans to view religions are not welcome, got rid of the old Catholic and other religion hour-long masses that were harmful to human health and replaced, if someone wants to term this separately, new holy mass or a mercy helpful information session of all humans, religious or not, can use this link and put on their own sites, other parish sites, Vatican, non-religious blogs. Human can start their own to help promote human health, animals, nature, basic info. Then human is healthy, can use their gifts to help others. Respect up-to-date information put to help promote to others to educate them about preventative measures, helpful medical techniques to help others what's going on in the world, and a dignity to respect all humans to do their job when they affect humans and animals and don't or can't make their pay. Hire someone who cares, and then everyone will benefit, will be healthier, respected as they rights to be by law under God, and everyone will be happy, healthy, and have their heaven on earth as they deserve. Please share every information I mention and sites to all trillions of people in the world. They have a right to be. Be a human earth angel. Use your gifts. Accomplish this act of mercy. Prevent 100 million people from suffering, animals and nature. And you will do what the holy angels in heaven have capabilities of, but didn't do on earth, but as a human. And other humans will be happy, healthy, and safe because you took the time to care and mercifully act to help them, prevent them from suffering, and stop their suffering as needed, as a human earth angel. And they'll be happy, and everyone you will be happy too, and have heaven on earth as everyone rightly deserves.